Yeah, it does have a bunch of upgrades over the other 1717 series, like the 8-gauge wire, the 8mm bullets, as well as... This thing's going to have so much RPM and giddy-up power. That's going to be ridiculous. I can't even believe that they told us that you could run this motor on 8S. Welcome back to Innovation RC, guys. Today is an awesome day. We're going to be testing out a brand new motor, and that is actually not it. If you guys recall, this big girl, the 2028 1100, has been in Spartan, and we actually hit 159 miles an hour on 8S. Take a look underneath Spartan. There's a, this is actually the 1721 2400 kV. That's a lot of kV for a can this big. Keep in mind, it is the next runner-up for a 2028 17 series. It's a little bit thicker than your standard 8th scale, and well, actually, I'll just show you guys. This is the Castle 1717 1650 kV. This motor is absolutely awesome. It's actually the middleman to the 1/5 scale and the 1/8 scale kind of motors. This is the brand new 1721. This is going to be Castle's Speedrun motor, and you guys can see it is the absolute same thickness, but you can see how much taller it is. Now, if you want to play, I would totally recommend the 1650. It's still going to have a boatload of torque. It actually threw around my 30-pound Creighton 8S, around like a rag doll. You can run it on 6 or 8S, whatever you want to do. You don't even want to take off the 8mm bullets. You really want to keep this thing decked out as how it comes out of the box. So I wrote some words down. You guys can see I have a little 6S and 8S RPM rating chart right here. Same thing with the 1721. Keep in mind, it's also no loads. So just keep in mind, this is theoretical RPM if you were in space, in a vacuum, whatever. Real world, you're going to be subtracting 10 to 15% RPM with your load or gearing, all that stuff. Starting off, I normally run the 2028 1100 kV on 8S and Spartan. We're at 32,000 RPM, and 6S is really not that high of an RPM, which is really why the thing never gets hot. 24,420 RPM. 1721, which would be this guy. Keep in mind, for the can size, this thing is massive for the can. On 6S and 2400 kV multiplied by your voltage, theoretical RPM is going to be 53,280 RPM. That's insane. So you don't even need to run this thing on 8S, but Castle rates this thing on 8S, which is crazy. So on 8S, which is going to be around 29.6 volts, we are going to be around 71,000 and change RPM. Wow. So what do I have to say about that? On 8S, the motor is not going to be cold when you get done with the run, all right? You've got to run a motor fan. You've got to gear it accordingly. You cannot play with this thing on 6S or 8S. It's going to draw massive amps. Yeah, it does have a bunch of upgrades over the other 1717 series, like the 8-gauge wire, the 8mm bullets, as well as the larger solder tabs. But that still does not matter. You can still cook this motor if you do not gear it right, or if you don't even set it up right. You really got to be careful with this motor, which is why I'm not going to recommend it if you're just going to want to play or whatever. As I'm kind of boring myself, I'm going to throw this into Spartan, and we're going to see what we could do on 6S and 8S. All right, now that the boring stuff is out of the way, I'm going to be running 2 kinds of batteries today. For the first run, our warm-up pass is going to be this big guy right here, the CNHL 6000 milliamp 6S65C, Black Edition, Black Series, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be doing this guy up first, and we're going to see what we can get. Then up next, I cannot believe we're going to be running 8S over 2000 kV. That is an insane amount of RPM, guys. But I hope it doesn't cut out. I really hope it just drives straight and it doesn't draw too many amps, because amps is what's going to make anything cut out, really. Guys are the whopping 9500 milliamp 90C CNHL batteries. So these are pretty much the newer ones that are out. We're gonna see how well we can do with them today. All right, guys, I am super duper excited for this. Let's see what we can do on 6S. All right, guys, here we go. This is gonna be our 6S warm-up pass with the 1721 2400 kV Castle speed motor. Let's see what it's got. See what it's got. Trying to not use the brakes that much because I know it's a little bit smaller of a can. Damn, that's crazy, guys. 147 miles an hour on 6S too. And there's still more in it. So I'm really not even running that crazy gearing. I'm just trying to be conservative for the first run. So we are running the 6S 65C Black Edition CNHL. You guys can see the balance lead right here. Very good. That's actually a 6S PB right there. Before it gets too, cools off too much. That's actually not that bad, guys. Yeah, it's warm, but it's not like hot. I could actually keep my hand on this. It's just borderline. That's actually pretty impressive, guys. A lot of freaking RPM, holy moly. Now I'm not even worried about the XLX2, although I should probably be running a fan because it is higher KV. We're in the 120s or so. Not that bad at all. Wow. Cut out. Cut out, guys. Nope. Another cutout, guys. Oh man, we were still getting it. 120 on 8S, but that's really not that good on 8S. It's actually a overcurrent limit code being thrown by the ESC. The ESC isn't warm. Yeah, not even. But yeah, guys, very, very good run though. And this motor shows a lot of potential. All right, here we come. Yeah, cut off, guys. 146. There's still so much more left into it. Wow. And that's another overcurrent limit. There was more RPM, of course, because we're running 8S power, so it is a little bit more toasty. It's not insanely hot, but still a terrific speed motor. I just need a lot more open space to just open that high winding motor up. Okay guys, so what I learned today with this motor in particular, today was actually the first day out and we actually hit a pretty good speed on 6S, 147. If you could do over 140 on 6S, that's a really good milestone to do. I didn't think it was even gonna do 140, to tell you the truth. What I learned from today is that big gears may slow you down. We ran more voltage, 147 on 6S, and if you do the math a little bit on 8S, wow, okay? So the point of the matter is, do not overgear this motor, and be sure you guys do a little bit of research before you just throw a big friggin' setup in here. Very happy that today went pretty well. The motor performed amazing, and it actually didn't get as hot as I honestly thought it would. So, all right guys, it's pretty hot out here and still buggy. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe below for more. Have a good one.